We'll do it live.
Okay. Well, no.
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Hello and welcome to Eddie's Wall, live on Facebook, filming here in Southern California at Transworld Snowboarding Studios. The best part about this show being live is that it's interactive. It's not just me interviewing the guest, it's you as well. So please comment your questions. They'll come up here on my computer and we'll get you guys some answers. Today we have a really great guest who just flew in from Chile. He was down there riding, doing some summertime shredding and filming. A couple little hype stats here. He's got a heavy competitive career, taking a win at the Air and Style, a legendary win at Air and Style, or a Legends session at Air and Style. Also a bronze medal at the European X Games. He's also been in a lot of snowboarding movies. Some of the standout ones were the cult classic Air Blaster movie December. We've also got 91 Words for Snow. He released a GoPro line of the winter that has 2.5 million views. He's done Grillomentary and, of course, the very popular web series with Red Bull, Grillisodes. Please give it up for Marko Grilc. Oh, yeah. Give it up, people. Give it up. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
You almost had the name right.
I almost got the name right.
We've been working on this and...
Yeah, we've been working on the name.
Almost.
So because you go by Grillo.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your Instagram. That's it. You know, the Grillisodes, Grillomentary, but the real pronunciation of your last name is Grilc.
One more.
Grilc. Marko Grilc.
Grilc.
Oh, Grilc. I forgot the T. There's a T. It's spelled Grilc.
Yeah.
But it's pronounced Grrreeltc.
Yeah.
Grilc. Marko Grilc.
Grilc.
Okay.
Well,
so,
well done.
Thank you for joining us. You just flew here from Chile?
Yeah. I was down there for a week and it was such a insane trip. Like I did this free ride contest and then we had what's going on there?
Oh, just getting emails over here. Busy guy.
And then, we did this sunset shoot and we rode around the resorts there. We had POW and it was just such a sick trip.
So for any of our viewers who haven't been to Chile, what is the experience like down there? What's the food like and the culture?
Yeah, so the cool thing is if you're here from the States, for instance, you fly down, I think it's like a 10-hour flight and you don't have any jet lag or anything because you're in the same time difference, right?
Oh,
so
perfect, yeah.
You just that really helps, I think, and you wake up in full-on winter. It's cold, the snow is great and stuff. And I was really surprised how cool the people were. They're really calm and they're friendly and it's really easy to be with them anywhere, and then the shredding itself really blew my mind because they have such big mountains and a lot of POW and a lot of good terrain and the parks too were so good. So the whole experience was mind-blowing.
Were you filming for what were you filming mainly for?
The main thing was I was here in the States. I was doing the rat race, and then I was up in Mount Hood, and they were the Red Bull guys down there were do you want to do this free ride contest in Chile? And I was like, guys, I never did a free ride contest, And then they were no, it doesn't matter. We're sure you can do well. And I was like, all right, I mean, I'm down, why not, And then I got there and in my mind, somehow a free ride contest in Chile was this small face, couple turns, pretty chill.
Yeah.
And I get there and we're under this 1,000-meter face, It's the biggest thing, blind rolls everywhere, big stuff. And I was just oh my God. What did I get myself into?
Oh my God.
And then, somehow, the dudes also, they were riding it. They were okay, we rode this face, you need to go there, and actually at the end it worked out really well. It was really fun to do too, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
But I got myself into a weird place. I was what am I doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were in Canada filming for a Transworld thing, and they were doing a free ride contest. And out of the blue, the resort was oh, Eddie, would you like to be the pre-runner of the course?
Yeah.
And this was this past year, so not when I was 25 or something. And I'm sure, I guess. And I got up there and was so terrified. I
Yeah.
was like, why did I agree to do this? And then, you know, I made my way down. It wasn't like that crazy, but yeah, it was. Those things are sketchy.
Yeah. But I really like. I think it's pretty sick if you like if there would be like a little bit more like freestyle in it too. Like it, because the thing that I noticed that's the biggest difference is you ride a slopestyle course, for instance.
Yeah.
And you got the jumps, you know, and like I feel that you're pretty limited with it, you know, or
Right.
you ride like whatever other event, like they just set up everything and you're like, okay, I got my tricks, I'm gonna do them, whatever, you know.
Right.
But here you had like a full face, you know, so you had like 100 obstacles or whatever features
Yeah.
to hit.
Yeah.
So you chose what you want to ride, you know, and I feel like if there would be takeoffs or jumps and stuff, it would be such a sick thing to do, you know.
Yeah, I think I feel like that's kind of what Travis Rice was trying to do.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like that course was almost too condensed.
Yeah.
To where if you hit one or two, there was like 100 obstacles, but you could only hit maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you had a massive open face forever, and then you just had stuff everywhere.
Yeah. It would. I feel like that would be pretty sick to get together.
We got some questions coming in already. Thank you guys so much for watching and for sending in your questions. Let's see. Karen Castro Espinosa, are you planning to come back to Chile to shred?
Yeah. Like I can't wait to get back. You know, like
Cool.
it was such a sick experience, and I always went to like to Australia and New Zealand in the summer
Yeah.
mostly. You know, or we went to South Africa too, and I never made it like this way. You know, because it was just a little far for us from Europe. You know, and then I like definitely want to come back there because my trip was pretty short, and I feel that I haven't seen much of the country and other resorts.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm pretty hyped, you know.
Were you guys hiking, heliing, resorts, backcountry?
Yeah, like I didn't get to heli, but we just did everything else too, you know. And dude, the crazy thing was like when we were there in another resort, I think Chilean, a volcano erupted in the resort. So like we saw pictures of people like in the resort checking it out, and like I don't know, like 3,000 feet away or whatever, a mile.
Yeah.
Is that a mile? I don't know.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah. And then, so there's like a huge volcano going off, like a lot. And so we were like, dude, we need to go check that out. And they're like, yeah, we should. Like,
Did you? Or
no, we didn't. Cause,
We should, but
we
didn't.
should, but it was far, yeah.
Let's see. Sandra Augustinus, when will you visit Landgraf again?
Oh, so Sandra is, she's the mom of Jesse Augustinus. He's a really good snowboarder.
Okay.
And I've been like, we went to, so Landgraf is like an indoor dome in Europe, right?
Oh, cool.
And they have a sick park, and we've been like going there and, yeah, like shredding there, and it's so cool. They let us stay at their house. We're like,
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we're living the life over there. And yeah, probably in October, November.
Perfect. One thing I was going to ask you is when I went to Chile, I'm a vegetarian, and the only thing to eat there was meat. It was like breakfast, lunch, and dinner was just meat. So I had to eat cheese fondue for like 10 days straight. That was it.
So
It was pretty harsh.
So yeah, I also like stopped eating like a lot of meat.
Oh, really? Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't
like
even know
but
that.
recently.
Cool.
So I'm like, okay, I'll like chill out on the meat because I ate way too much. And then I came down there and I was like, okay, I think I need to start eating meat again because this is not working. So I just like was on the program again. But now I'm back. I'm good.
Cool. Let's see. Tom Stotner. Grillo, have you been to Wernie Stock's wedding?
No, I haven't been to Vernie's wedding, but he got married and it's pretty insane. Like, I don't know where I was, but I can't wait to get back to Hintertux and shred and like see Vernie and his wife. And like that's coming up pretty soon, so I'm really excited, yeah.
Cool. Edward Michael, what has been your best snowboard memory?
I think like when we did the Gorilla's Out series, you know, like our thing was that we could go to places where you would never go usually on a snowboard trip or like
Right.
like if you're filming for a movie or whatever, you know. And then we like went to South Africa or Dubai, like such places out of the snowboard map, you know.
Yeah.
And it was like the thing that really made it cool that we would go to Africa and snowboard there and get there. And we meet a crew of snowboarders that's there, and that crew was like the same as everywhere else. You know, they were same passion, same dudes, just so hyped on riding, happy, stoked, you know. And that, like, at that point, I was like, dude, snowboarding is so sick that no matter where in the world you go and how it is or how bad, good, like what they have, people are so stoked about it, and they're happy in their lives, kind of. And that was really something that made me like, it blew my mind, you know. And from everything, that was the one thing that I liked the most, you know.
Cool. Yeah, we noticed that in Dubai, going to the snow dome there, and this is just a small run inside of a vast desert of 120-degree weather, and the kids there were so passionate about snowboarding, and it got me so stoked. Like, you know,
like the thing is that like they're not bummed, you know. Like when you meet people that have such passion and such stoke, you know, they're never bummed. They're always like loving life and having a blast, you know. And like when I came there and I looked at it, I was like, okay, your conditions are not even close to like Mammoth or whatever, you know. But I was like, I can't believe you guys are having as much fun as anybody else, and that's really cool about it, you know.
Yeah. Tom O'Toole, what deck are you going to ride this year?
I ride like so many different boards nowadays. Like I've been on the Fish a lot, and it's so sick. Like I'm such like good carving board, and I have a hard time like getting off it. Like I'm like I need to get off it. Like I need to do like some big jumps, but then I do like one run with it. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do it with that board. It's all good, you know.
Yeah.
And then I ride the Process quite a bit, and there's such a like the Burton line has so many boards to offer that every like 2-3 weeks I'm like, hey guys, like, do you think you could send me this board? It looks sick. And then I get it and I ride it. I'm like, yeah, this is insane. So different things to ride, different board, and that's pretty cool.
Okay. Garrett Growl, what is your favorite trip from this past season?
So we've been like filming on this movie that we're working on together with Red Bull for 2 years now, right?
Okay.
And we had a plan set up for what we're gonna do, and some of the things that we have like didn't work out because the season was so bad at the beginning, but then at the end it really turned on, and we went to this one mountain that was 50 minutes from my home. And I've been there before, but I never hit it right, or I didn't know how good it is. And we got there and it was like Alaska. I was like, what the heck? Like the sickest faces, like just pow, spines, everything under the gondola, you know, and nobody there. And we were like, what? Like, how is this even possible? Like, how didn't we go this here like 100 times already, you know? And then we hit it, like for 3 weeks, we just had like storm after storm and just insane stuff. Yeah, and that's where I kind of started like doing lines and free riding or whatever again after a while, you know, and it was really a blast, yeah.
Now, trying to think of either whether to talk about, well, let's just touch on this Red Bull 2-year project. So is there, obviously it's 2 years, so maybe you don't want to give away too much or talk about it too much, but this was the first year of filming for it. Mm-hmm. And what is there, is it kind of a movie around you or your friends, or is there a theme to it or something?
No, like I didn't really want it to be like a movie about me or whatever, my life or whatever, you know, and I just kind of, like, we did the episodes, you know, and we traveled and we saw all this, you know, so now we, like, for the movie, we're, like, going a little bit different, you know, like, I can't say it or whatever, you know, but we have, like, 5 trips planned to like, really cool spots. And one is gonna be a free ride trip, and one is gonna be like a street, like park seggy and all. But the movie itself is more about snowboarding and more about maybe not traveling that far, you know, like maybe just coming and like using your things that are around you, you know. You never know, like it might not seem that it's that good, you know, but once you do it and you go into it, then you're like, well, there's a baby AK in my backyard that I didn't even know because I've been trying to go like so far away, you know? So like just doing a step back and coming home and like doing it in a different way. You know?
Okay. And talking kind of about your web series, you know, Grillisodes, those were really successful. And, nowadays there's a lot of, social media, online presence is a really big deal nowadays. And web series really help with that stuff. And then, you did this GoPro line of the winter that has over 2 million views. How has that maybe affected your career path and things like that? Because I feel like you, even more than a lot of writers, have a really big online presence.
Yeah, so when like the whole online thing started, like I was like straight addicted to it. I was like, dude, wow, Facebook, like every day and stuff. And then at that point I was like, you know what? I kind of don't see that like filming a movie, like a video part, is that like it's what I want to do, And
Right.
then I started like the episodes back then, like this like 6 years ago, and I just said, okay, this is what I believe in. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I feel like this is the right way, And the sponsors at the beginning were like, yeah, like we'll
Yeah.
see how it goes, But then a year later, they were like, oh, this is insane, Like it's working and like this is going well, and we trust you,
Right.
Like my sponsors came and they were like, what do you want to do,
Cool.
And at that point, I was like, this is so amazing, But at the same time, I was like, okay, I could go this way and like film a better video part, do better tricks, like go like all crazy on it, which we did anyways. But like snowboarding has so much more to offer,
Yep.
And there's so much that people don't see and that you can explore and stuff. And this series was perfect for it. We went to such places that like you wouldn't even think you could film a trick there, like Morocco, like we're on this mountain, there's nothing, like, and we were like, okay, we just got to do
In Morocco,
like it's super warm, like the desert blows all the sand on the snow, it's yellow, like there's one guy with a snowboard from the like 70s or 80s, like walking around, that's it, and no, like there's lifts, but we didn't even go on them because they were so sketchy, we were like, okay, we're not sure this is gonna make it to the top,
Whoa.
So we just went to this like abandoned houses and like we did some jibs and stuff, but we were snowboarding there, and like maybe it was not the best, but you could do it and you could get something really cool out of it. And that was like that was the point of it, that we could do different stuff,
Right.
Yeah.
So it's funny, when I was watching some like highlights of your riding and stuff yesterday and leading up to this, and when your name comes into my head, when I think Grillo, I just kind of think big jumps, like powder, tech, gnarly big jumps, tricks and stuff. And then when I was going through all this footage, I was noticing like tons of gnarly street stuff. And I mean, have you always done tons of street stuff? Because it really took me by surprise. I was like, what? Like all those crazy rails have all the gaps in them and stuff. And I was like, oh, dude, he's like doing crazy street stuff.
Yeah, that's so like I snowboard for so long. Like I've been with Burton for 20 years. Like yeah, and
I did not know that.
Yeah, like this is the 20th year. Yeah, it's insane.
That's so gnarly.
Like at some point, I was
So wait,
like,
what age did you start with them?
Yeah, like 14, yeah. So I'm going, yeah.
crazy.
I was such a grom, and back then, like, I was from Slovenia. Nobody even knew where Slovenia is,
Yeah.
and I went to, like, Junior Worlds,
Yeah.
and Hazi, like, my current team manager, still was like, dude, you're on the team. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what team? Like, you mean Burton Snowboards? And they're like, yeah, you should come and grab your stuff. And I went there as a kid, like it was my first time like going to the office or like even seeing like all this stuff, and just and they were like, yeah, you're with us, all good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well wait, actually,
Okay.
okay, no, let's stick to that now that you brought that up. But we'll get back. I want to
Yeah.
get back to the handrail
Yeah.
stuff. But okay, so first of all, you are from Slovenia.
Yeah.
And I think we have a map. I think we can bring up a little map. It's going to be like right here, if you will. And so Slovenia is kind of nestled in, kind of near the northern tip of Italy and near Austria.
Yeah. It used to be Yugoslavia, right?
Okay.
And when we split up, like so we're like right next to Austria and Italy too. So it's not too far. But for instance, when I started snowboarding, like the border was gnarly. You couldn't just like, okay, I'm gonna go to Austria every day, you know, like it was.
Why is that?
Because different times, like we just split up from Yugoslavia. There was war in Bosnia and Serbia and all that, like pretty crazy times, you know. And that's when we went to Innsbruck, and we filled the car with these boards, and we had to like go over the border where there's like police and like checking every car, like documents. Who are these people? What are they bringing in? Are they gonna sell it? Whatever. So we rolled up with like 6 boards in the back, and they were like, guys, we gotta talk, you know. So my dad was there with my contract, like my Burton contract. He's like, dude, guys, check it out. Like, it's legit. He's an athlete. They hooked him up. And they were like, no, you're gonna sell this. Like, you need to pay for it, whatever. And then after 3 hours, they're like, okay, whatever, just go. You're a kid, like, go snowboard.
Okay, so kind of rewinding back a little bit from there, you're a little kid in Slovenia starting to snowboard. I mean, I think it's very difficult for a kid in the United States to get noticed as being a good snowboarder, or in, you know, even a bigger country in Europe. So how does somebody from the middle, like from Slovenia, get noticed for their snowboarding?
So I got on Burton, and then, like, imagine.
And that was through kind of like locals.
No, so I went to the Junior World Championships. Like, that was the thing where they, like, where we're like, okay, you're legit,
Okay.
right? And then, imagine this is a time with no internet, like, no cell phone, no computer, you know,
Right.
like, and we, like, the information about somebody being good was just like
Word of mouth.
Yeah, like, and it took so much time, you know. So I would just ride, and then I would, like, Burton was like really cool about it. They were like, okay, you can go to this event, you should go there, you know. And I would show up and ride like as a Grom, and they would be like, oh, like, that's pretty cool, you know. And so that was like step by step, but this took years. It's not like today, oh, dude, like, he did a quad, boom, superstar.
Sponsor.
Yeah, you know,
yeah,
like,
right.
it's like a different time. So it took way longer, but I feel like once you were recognized, you know, like, it had way more, like, it
Weight.
was worth,
Yeah.
something, you know.
Yep.
Not like, okay, next year he's gone, like, he's actually around and it's cool, you know?
Yeah.
But it was sick. Yeah, then I got to film video parts, like, I did like events, and yeah, it was pretty insane.
And how? Oh, so you were 14 when you first started getting stuff from Burton.
Yeah.
But when did you start, you know, really winning contests and producing video parts?
When I was 17, I won Junior Worlds in pipe, right?
Yeah.
And like Danny Cass was there, Heike Sorsa, you know, like, and I was still like, I feel like people still didn't know me, you know.
Right.
So then I was all of a sudden like getting invites to, like, I don't know, ISF, like top events, you know, and that really helped, you know. And then I think when I was around 20, completely randomly, Travis Parker and Andrew Crawford, like, they're like, dude, we're in Slovenia, like, I heard you're sick, let's ride. And I was like, wait, what, who? Like, that guy that, you know, like. And I met up with them, and they were like, yeah, we're making this movie in December. You know, I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, but there is no snow. Like, what are we going to do, you know? And they were like, we don't care. We're here to ride and have fun. And I was like, okay, you know, like, let's do it, you know? And like, it ended up that movie was like pretty big.
Yeah,
you know?
it was like a cult classic, I would call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
But I had no clue. I was like riding with this guy, super hyped just to be with them. You
Yeah.
know? And that led into 91 Words, where David Benedict was like, okay, dude, like, let's get you on a real movie, let's film, you know.
Right.
And then when I got that chance, all of a sudden I was like sledding in Alaska. I was like, what? Like, how is this happening? And that was a big success too, you know. So that opened like a lot of doors for the years that followed, you know.
Okay. So kind of on you were talking about the competitions and stuff. Gary Robert Greenshields, Grillo mate, you've done a ton of contests. Which was your favorite? Of course, X Games Aspen, when you busted through the fence, must be up there.
Yeah, that was like really an amazing moment where I just flew out of the whole course. But actually, I you know, like, for me, always Aaron Stow is like the one that like was really special. You know, it's in Innsbruck, like Burton's there. I feel like Innsbruck's like the center of European snowboarding, and
Yeah.
just the arena with how like it is, like that was the one that I really loved the most from all, and like like that was for me the best memory of competitive snowboarding for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually talked to a lot of riders who, I think the other day I was talking to Peter Line and I asked, what was one of the biggest contests or most memorable, and he said Aaron Style, because I feel like there's very few contests in snowboarding like that, because it's just it's like a stadium event, you feel.
And the thing is, the crowd, like the people there are really into snowboarding too, so when you do a trick, they're like, that's insane,
And they know what you're doing.
They know what you do and they love it, and you really feel it, because like just the way the people are in that stadium, like you really feel like them, like the feedback from them or cheering or whatever, you know. And I feel like that's why the level of that event was always so big,
Yeah. Tom Kingsnorth, can you share some stories about your team buddy, Rope?
Oh my God. I'm not going to put him in that spot right now. Like, it would be a bit too much, but I've been traveling around a lot with him, and he's such a good dude, like just so hyped on life, like he sends it on a snowboard, is always down. He sends it on a skateboard. He sends it at night. Like
he sends it at the bar.
He's the best, and like we go around, and he's gonna be a big part of this movie that we're making too. And I'm meeting him in Australia in a couple of weeks. So
oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm hyped to see him.
Okay, David Beronen, where do you want to ride before climate change makes it inaccessible?
Yeah, it's scary, huh? Like, the thing is that, so I've been shredding for such a long time that I really see the changes, like, in the climate, and it's scary what's happening, So I'm thinking, for us, probably, it's like for the next couple of years, it's kind of okay. I guess, like, the winter starts in February, which is bad, and then they're closing resorts with, like, 6 meters of snow on it, but... it scares me for my kids, are they even going to be able to go on a mountain and have like a normal winter holiday, or are they going to have to go on a glacier or in a dome, So it's like really not good what's happening, and like we all need to do something about it, and I try to do my part, but I feel like one person can't change it, but if we all like work towards that, hopefully it's gonna get better. But it's bad, like it's really bad.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Eddie's Wall. We have Marko Grilc, aka Grilc. Marko Grilc, aka Grillo. We're here filming in Southern California, Transworld Snowboarding Studios, and please comment in your questions and we'll get them answered for you. Moving right along, we have Bain Zolahar. Do you remember that one time when you had an interview on Serbian television? What happened?
Oh, yeah. So Bine is a good friend of mine.
Oh, Bine.
So what did happen? Like we went live on the Serbian TV, right? And I speak okay Serbian, but he was with me and he speaks zero Serbian, so just the way that we talked through that interview was super ridiculous, and we were on prime time. It's like me speaking like kind of half English right now. It was just like super funny. It was awesome, yeah.
So kind of going back to Slovenia and growing up there, I thought it was pretty interesting when you're talking about, just the borders and kind of the politics and stuff, because I feel like in the U.S., we have politics and everything, but we don't really deal with this long history of, country splitting up and things like that. What is that like to be a younger kid growing up in that environment?
It's insane, So when I think I was 7, like we had that war, and in Slovenia, it only lasted like 10 days, but like my memory of it, I remember it like it was yesterday. So I was outside playing and the sirens went off, a long siren.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what it was, but I remember my dad was like, dude, we need to go to the bunkers. There's like a strike. Like the planes are gonna bomb the city. Cause that's
and before this, did you know too much was going on?
No, because it happened. A 7-year-old doesn't know, or doesn't care.
You're not Keeping up with CNN.
Yeah, but like, so I was, I remember we packed our bag, and we were like, okay, we're going to the bunker. They're gonna like bomb the city.
Is this like a big public bunker, or do you have a bunker
No,
in your
you have
backyard?
it in your house.
You had a bunker in your house?
No, like not in our house, in our buildings. So back then, like buildings would have to have these bunkers,
Holy
So, okay, we're going in a bunker, and then randomly our neighbor comes, and she was like, yeah, I was just in Croatia at the beach, and I drove here and I didn't see like anything was going on. What's going on, And my dad's like, okay, we need to get out of the city. We're leaving everything behind. We're going to Croatia. We need to escape. Like, imagine this is happening, And we took those couple bags, went in the car, and drove on the highway. There's nobody anywhere.
Right.
And they told me that, like, there were tanks coming the other way, and we were like, and I remember it to today. Like, my dad was like, you need to hide under the chair or like in the back. So I would like go down, so if in case they shoot at the car. Like I would be okay, and my mom was driving like super low, and we were going full speed, like passing
tanks,
yeah,
coming into the city.
Yeah, it's so unreal, yeah. And then we made it to the border, and they had like tank barriers, like it's big exits.
The metal ones,
yeah. And they were like, "What the hell are you guys doing here? It's war, Like, and we were like, "We need to get out of here. We need to like get out of the country. We're safe there." So they somehow like left us through, and then we were in Croatia at my grandma's place. And I remember it to the day my dad would listen to the radio and be like, okay, what did they bomb? Did they bomb our house? Did they bomb Ljubljana? Where's the war? Like, this is so insane. Yeah, I was just a kid, but I remember this like it was yesterday.
Whoa.
So gnarly,
Crazy.
Yeah.
So then you were able to go back. Your house didn't get bombed, and you were able to go back.
Everything, like luckily the war there was like there were some casualties, but it moved down, and Slovenia was okay. But we were we were the passing zone for all the refugees,
Mm-hmm.
And in those times, like they would come Bosnia, like they would pass all through Slovenia. And I remember how it was. Like our neighbors had like 15 people in their small apartment, because that was the only place these people could go. They had like one bag, and that was it. And so it was super gnarly. Yeah.
Wow, that is a crazy story. Yeah. So after that settled down, kind of growing up through your teen years, you said the borders were tough and everything, but was there any more, crazy things like that?
Like the thing was that that I remember also is that we didn't come from like a wealthy family, or I don't think anybody back then was really wealthy, because the way it was set up is that everybody kind of has the same,
Yeah.
And I remember the gnarliest thing was like how my parents would like, how they would put everything we had into me going snowboarding, They like my dad. I wanted to go on a trip to Switzerland once, and I mean it had to be super hard for him, and like we didn't have money to go. Right. And I remember he sold all the shares, like everything we had, for me to go on this one trip. And it's so gnarly. And then, okay, so then we after that my parents were so much in debt because of it.
Yeah.
That I remember once like, people came to our apartment, like 2 dudes, official, and they were like, okay, if you guys don't pay the debt that you have, we're going to take your apartment away. Like, we're going to take your home away. So gnarly stuff, yeah. And my parents somehow, like, made it happen, and I was still pretty young. I was, like, maybe 10 or, 11,
wow, yeah.
I didn't know, but I saw this happening.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, we need to sell this or whatever, however we're going to make it. But it's all because we were snowboarding.
Well, what's really interesting too is I could almost imagine maybe a family doing that in this day and age, knowing that you can become a big name pro and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, there was no such thing. Like when you told somebody like,
it wasn't a sport.
No, it wasn't. Like you didn't even know that someone made a living off of it. Like a pro meant, I thought, like that you got like a free lift ticket.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing because your parents were doing it.
Yeah, they
it was
invested in like,
just
it's
a
so
passion.
insane now, like that I have kids to see. It's like, it's just straight up into like happiness kind of,
Yeah.
Like I was stoked to do it, and I
Right.
was hyped. It wasn't a sport. There were barely any contests. It was like nothing. It was more like a hobby thing. you know?
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we are so glad that you have that in you, that you're hyped. And my brother was the same. We are gonna put like everything into that.
Wow. So
Like-
knowing that they did all of this just for your passion,
Yeah,
and not for
it's
any money.
Not like
you know.
no Olympics, no.
Right.
That's why I see these kids nowadays. They're like, their parents are like, oh, I want my kid to be the Olympic champion.
Right.
I'm like, that's so wrong.
Right.
You should be happy that he likes
Is
something
passionate.
and he snowboards, and like that's enough. You know, if he loves it that much, he will. If he snowboards every day, he maybe one day is gonna be. But that shouldn't be your goal. You know, that should be his goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, now are your parents just insanely proud and
It's so sick. Yeah, my brother like too is like extremely successful, and I do it. And I had a talk with my dad the other day. I was like, what did you do? What did you do that I am 33 and I've been doing this for 25 years or like forever? Why do I still like it so much? You know, like why am I still involved? And he was like, you know what? When you were a kid, I didn't tell you one time that you should go snowboard.
right.
I never pushed you. I always was waiting for you to say, okay, Dad, I want to go snowboard. And then I took you, you know. I never like did any pressure on you. And he said, yeah, like sometimes I felt that you should go, but I was like, whatever, he should do his own thing and he's going to like it. And that's like why, that's the way you want to make your kid love whatever, not
Right.
snowboarding,
Yeah.
whatever. you know.
Yeah. Damn. This is
Deep.
awesome.
We're going deep
We're
right
getting
now.
deep here,
People.
folks.
Whoa.
Really deep. Couple more questions. David Blackwell, Grillo, what is your favorite meat to grill?
Oh my God.
Is this it?
Fish, I guess
Fish?
now, fish.
Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite type of fish?
We like actually in Croatia we have we live right next to the ocean, so there's so much like good fish.
So you don't live in Slovenia anymore?
No, I live in Slovenia, but Croatia is like an hour drive, you know.
Oh,
Or we
okay.
have a coast in Slovenia too. You know?
Right.
It's super sick. Like we have really good mountains, like half an hour drive, and then we have the coast and like it's easy to travel from there. Austria is close,
And I was looking up, what's the main town in Slovenia that you're
Ljubljana. Yeah.
Ljubljana.
Yeah.
Ljubljana. And I was, doing a little research for this, and I was looking up Ljubljana, and it looks really nice and
It's-
like a cool city.
Yeah, it's insane. It's so beautiful. Like,
Right.
That's the thing. Like I travel a lot and see a lot of things, you know, but just that feeling of coming back home.
Yeah.
And like being in the spot, like being with my family, with my people, it's just so insane. Yeah.
Why do you think that countries like Austria and Switzerland and Germany and Italy have so much hype around them and so much tourism, and then Slovenia is a country that, I mean, I would say most people have barely heard of?
Yeah, it sounds sketchy, right? They're
little
like
bit.
Slovenia,
Well-
like damn, Eastern Europe, like
See-
Hostel. Have you seen the movie Hostel?
Right,
Like I'm gonna disappear there.
Like you
know?
kind of picture this
Yeah,
rundown city
yeah.
with like old bullet holes,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
and you can rent a hotel for like 5 cents,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something. That's like the
it's
American
just-
vision.
Yeah,
I feel like.
it's just the wrong. But then, like, it's the direct opposite. It's
Right.
so beautiful. It's
Yeah.
super safe, and
Yeah.
it has so much to offer. We have like amazing lakes. Like we have the best fly fishing in the world. Like
Yeah.
the ocean is right there. So the people are super nice. They speak English. So it's really like a sick place to go. You know?
Yeah. As soon as I was bringing up the photos and some videos, I was like,
Yeah.
this place is amazing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's probably even better because it's not full of a million tourists. And-
Yeah, that's the thing that I mean now it's getting pretty touristy, but it's not like going, to Prague or like where everybody
or
goes.
Paris
Like it's
or
a bit different.
Rome.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Graham Banks, dude, I heard you're platinum 1K at the taco stand in Encinitas.
Oh my God, I've been hanging out with Graham quite a bit. Like I actually surfed with him this morning, and it's so cool. Like I spent some time down here, and it's like my second home. Like the people like that I've been hanging out with, like they just showed me a really good time. And we've been surfing and skating, and what you guys have down here is unbelievable, right? All
Yeah.
the skate parks and such good surf and such a sick lifestyle. Like so
Yeah.
calm and good food and. It's hard for me to leave today, but I can, I'm trying
So you're
to...
leaving today?
Today, I'm going on a plane home, yeah.
So you flew in from Chile.
Yeah, but my ticket was from here, Chile, and back, because I was here.
Okay,
But now I gotta I gotta go home.
Oh my god.
It's been too long. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. A couple more questions, and then we'll wrap this up. Sandra Augustinus, what would you have your job be if snowboarding never came into your life?
I don't know.
Pro
It's
surfer?
hard. Yeah, no, we don't have waves.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to say, you know, like when you're that young into snowboarding, then you don't know like what other way you could go, you know. But it's tough. Like I'm just so connected with it that I never thought about something else. Or even like now when people are like, so what are you gonna do after snowboarding? I was like, I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something that's gonna bring me back to snowboarding, or hopefully keep me connected with it somehow, that I can go ride as much as I can, you know.
Yeah.
And that's my goal. That's what makes me happy. It's not like having some job with a lot of like cash, whatever. It's just I want to ride, and that's what I want to do. You know?
Chris Compadre, and I just saw this question, and it's awesome. Would you rather have straight arms with no elbows or straight legs with no knees?
Wow, that is a tough one.
But check this out. Okay, well, actually, you answer first because
I think straight arms, right?
Okay, so that's the first thing I thought, right? Because who wants to walk around like this all the time?
Yeah.
And you can't snowboard or skateboard or anything, right? Check this out. If you have straight arms, you can't eat,
Oh my god, yeah.
right? How do you eat? I mean, I guess you could get like a long fork, and, you know? But dude, you couldn't like, you try to drink a beer, you'd be like, oh.
Dude, you can
oh,
always just like yeah.
Yeah, that was a great question, by the way. Man,
Amazing.
brilliant question. Emily Joe Miskowitz. Hey, Emily always tunes in and always asks questions, so thank you, Emily. I have a poster from 2002 X Games in Aspen signed by this guy and all the other snowboard athletes. Do you remember
I
signing
remember that. Yeah. I remember.
Really?
We were with the Red Bull crew, and we had a signing session. And I think she should answer if that's the. I think I remember. Yeah. I don't know how she looks, but if we would pull it up on Facebook, I would probably remember that.
All
too.
right. Redeem Thanier. What about your wife? Does she like your work, and does she ever try snowboarding? Good question.
So the thing is that I got a family now. Max is almost 4, you know, and that changed so many things, you know. Like all of a sudden, like before you have all this free time and you feel like you can do everything, and then you get kids and your family, and like you need to like you want to spend time with them too, you know.
Right.
So at that point you're like, okay, what's really that important in my life? What do I want to do? Because I need to like get rid of some stuff, you know.
Yep.
And like then I really even more saw how much passion I have for riding, you know.
Yeah.
And what I was thinking about it a lot, it was like I want to show that passion to my kids, or pass it along to them, you know. And I straight got Max into like snowboarding, not because I want him to be this crazy snowboarder, but
Right.
I just want him to be passionate about something like I am, you know. And
Yeah.
hopefully, you know, like, is snowboarding gonna be his thing, or it's gonna be like painting or whatever? I just hope that he's gonna be like that about it too. And my wife Nina, she has been so supportive throughout this whole thing, you know. Like she had my back and was like, yeah, you know, like you go and do your thing, and like we'll make it work. You know, like I'll take care of, you know, the kids and all that. And that was really insane, you know. And she had to, you know, like she still had to do school when we had Max, you know. So she went through a pretty hard period to have my back, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for all that she's done for me too, you know.
It's interesting. I feel like a lot of times when a pro snowboarder or pro athlete has a kid, you think, almost in a way, you think, oh, well, there goes their career almost, because they're going to be so wrapped up in that, and it's a huge responsibility, and it's going to take your time away. But it's interesting because I've almost noticed that most of the pro snowboarders I know who've had kids, it almost elevates their career, because that they now know like what is important, time management, and they know like, okay, I need to do this as pro as I can to support my family, and they get like gnarlier and
Yeah.
better, and they improve.
Yeah, you like all of a sudden you have a lot of like goals in your life. You're like, okay, I have like, if I do this, like I'm gonna try to make it like get something for my kids, or you know, like you're like, okay, I need to you need to take care of these people, you know,
Right.
they're my people right now.
Right.
So then you're like, okay, you get more pro at it, you like focus more, and at the same time you appreciate the time more that you're on snow, and like, so you put more energy into it, you know. And I think what's like key in your life is like, once you get kids, you shouldn't stop living your life. Like, you're gonna destroy yourself, you know.
Right.
Like if it's snowboarding, or if you like biking or swimming or whatever, you know, like, you don't stop because you get kids, you know.
Right.
You just make it work or with your kids, that you can keep doing it, and at
Right.
the same time you show them like you're hyped on this, and they're gonna be hyped like that on something else, you know.
So, I mean, that's a pretty unbelievable interview. Do you have anything else you want to touch on before we leave? You got a 2-year project coming up. You're working on that. Anything else?
I mean, we have a lot of. I have so much stuff going on that yeah, like, there's a lot we could talk about, but I don't know. I'm just grateful, like, for like the time I had here. You know, like, I've been in Hood, down here in Chile, and now here, and yeah, it's like been a super sick trip, and yeah. No.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you flying all the way here from Chile just to film this interview. And then safe travels on your way back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This show would be nothing without you guys watching it, so I really appreciate that. If you click in this upper right-hand corner for you, it's you can turn notifications on so that you can actually see when we are going live. Once again, this is Eddie's Wall. We're here at Transworld Snowboarding. And thank you to our amazing guest.
Yeah.
Wait, Marko Grilc. Close enough.
Yeah, I'll take
AKA Grillo. All right. Hey, put your hands together. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, this crowd, too. I love this crowd. Thank you guys so much for watching. And throw me the pen. We're going to have these sign the wall.
Boom.
There you go.